Before you start recruiting JVs and sending traffic to a hard launch, you'll need your actual launch structure in place. Your launch structure includes your sales pages, your sales funnel, your pricing model, as well as the marketplace or payment platform you'll use. Your launch structure also includes the back-end infrastructure you'll need for delivering your products to buyers and your initial interactions with them after they purchase. This includes setting up a support desk, a members area or a product delivery apparatus, and an autoresponder welcome sequence. Now, a quick note here. Many would argue that these last three items are better categorized as CRM, rather than part of a sales structure. And that's a valid point, but we're dealing specifically with the immediate post-purchase interactions that often make the difference between happy customers and angry refunders. So we've included them as part of your launch structure. Let's take a closer look at each of these. First up, sales funnel. Before you start building the pages, you'll need to establish your funnel flow. Hopefully you've done a good job of splintering your product into multiple standalone components or combining your product with other relevant products. The reason you need to do this is so that you have multiple products to upsell and downsell throughout the funnel in order to maximize your revenue. If you haven't done this yet, or you're not sure how, see our guide on product creation. The flow of your sales funnel basically handles what happens after a person buys your front-end product. Ordinarily, they'll be offered a relevant, higher-priced product as an upsell. This product should ideally augment or reinforce what the front-end product does. You'll then need to plan for a yes or no scenario. You'll probably want a second upsell in the case of the buyer purchasing the first upsell, and you'll need a downsell in case they decline it. This can theoretically go on as long as you want, but generally you'll annoy more people if your sales funnel is more than 4, maybe 5 products deep. Depending on what marketplace you'll be using, which we'll discuss later, you'll be able to create product listings and set up your sales funnel before designing your actual pages. Next up is pricing. Finding the perfect pricing strategy for the products in your funnel can make a world of difference. First, you'll want to establish what your normal price will be after your launch period. In most cases, this will already be lower than your product's actual assessed value. But then for your special launch period, you'll actually want to offer an even lower price to encourage early adopters. But be careful, this is not a race to the bottom. Oftentimes, a price that is too low will kill the perceived value of your product and can actually drive prospects away. You'll want to think long and hard about how to find the perfect sweet spot that maintains the perceived value of your product, while also making it a no-brainer to snatch up before the launch ends. Plan on a few different pricing ideas and combinations throughout the funnel so that if you feel the offer isn't performing well, you can change it up. Be sure to be taking notes if and when you make changes so you can compare performance at various price points. Next, marketplaces. The last component of your structure that needs to be established before moving on to the sales pages themselves is which marketplace or platform you'll be using. If you're relatively new to product launching and you're relying heavily on JVs, you'll want to stick with one of the big affiliate marketplaces rather than your own payment platform. This is because you'll have a greater chance of attracting affiliates, and many of these marketers are only comfortable with these marketplaces anyway. The reason this decision should come before your actual sales pages is that some of these marketplaces have specific guidelines and requirements for vendors and their pages. For a long time, ClickBank was the preeminent go-to affiliate marketplace for digital goods. In recent years, however, JVZoo has emerged as an even more popular marketplace for hard launches. ClickBank has the benefit of being a little easier to use from an affiliate point of view because most products don't require you to wait for the vendor to manually approve you as an affiliate. However, ClickBank also is much more strict in its guidelines for vendors and their pages, and they also seem to be more evergreen-oriented than launch-oriented. JVZoo, on the other hand, is much more launch-oriented, and it seems to be the preferred affiliate marketplaces for both vendors and affiliates when it comes to launching new products. Another marketplace worth mentioning is Warrior Plus. This one's not necessarily new, but it's been recently updated and expanded, and it's making a big comeback. It seems to have more in common with JVZoo than ClickBank, and it's very much associated with the Warrior Forum community, although the two are not officially or legally the same. Whichever marketplace you choose, be sure to carefully review their vendor guidelines and familiarize yourself with their policies. And now let's move on to sales pages. It doesn't matter if you know you have the most amazing, valuable, life-changing product in the world. If your sales page is not converting, you won't succeed. Your sales pages act as a sort of bottleneck for your product's success. There's a lot of different approaches to sales pages and copy. Short form, long form, text only, video only, and so on. The most common ones you'll see today are hybrid mid to long form video sales letters. This means a sales page in which the center of attention is a sales video at the top under a headline, and then a long or medium length sales letter below it that basically repeats the message of the video. This type of page has the advantage of appealing to people who like to learn via video, people who like to learn by reading thoroughly, and people who like to just skim down the page and collect the main ideas. Whatever style you choose, make sure to keep it clean-looking, attractive, and have every element and aspect of it pointing towards your main goal: conversions. Buy buttons, headlines, and calls to action, or CTAs, should be clear and pop out easily from the background, so ensure you're using contrasting colors. The overall look and feel of your sales page should ideally match the theme and colors of your brand image. Ideally, a page like this will have lots of images and subheadlines to break up the text. Because a sales page is such a vital part of your success, it's something you should really consider outsourcing if you're not already good at it. Next up, product delivery and membership. So once you've collected a payment, you'll need an automated method to deliver the product to your buyer. Some marketplaces provide product download or delivery within their platform. Alternatively, you can just forward buyers to your own delivery page with download links or video lessons and so on. But it's best these days to take an extra step towards protecting your content and lock it behind a members area. There are several options for this. First, there's the more common WordPress-based options like Wishlist Member, Member Mouse, and Digital Access Pass. Then, there's the non-WordPress solutions like Kajabi or Fresh Member. Whichever you choose, you'll need to go through a few steps to integrate it with your payment platform or marketplace so that people can automatically access their purchases after buying. Also, pay close attention to how you're setting up your membership script and ensure that it's protecting all the correct pages for all the correct products. Also, test to make sure your login details are automatically being sent at the moment of purchase. Another important benefit to membership-based delivery is that it can decrease refund rates. If unscrupulous customers have to log in to access materials, they're less likely to request their money back than if they can simply download files to their computer right away. Now let's move on to customer support. Customer support will be a permanent part of your relationship with each of your customers. However, for this guide, we're specifically focused on the very first interaction you'll be having with each customer, namely login headaches and refunds. Prior to your launch, ensure you've picked out and tested a solid support desk software. There's many out there to choose from. The two most popular ones are arguably Zendesk and Freshdesk. Try a couple out and see which one works best for you or your agents if you employ support staff. Once you've got your help desk set up, you'll want to establish streamlined workflows and canned statements, specifically for dealing with things like refunds and login problems. You can guarantee you'll have a lot of both of these. Your canned response for refunds can either be to oblige immediately or to offer a bribe of some sort first to keep the refund requester on board. For login issues, you'll want a step-by-step process of immediately looking up a person's transaction to verify what they bought, then looking up their account information in your membership platform, and either resending credentials or creating new ones. Also consider putting important info into your help desk's auto-response. Rather than "we've received your ticket and we'll review it shortly," consider adding a few things like, if you haven't received login details, please check your spam folder, or due to our current product launch, support tickets may take a full 48 hours. Finally, let's talk about the welcome sequence. A full post-launch email autoresponder sequence will be covered later on. Right now we want to focus on the welcome sequence that people will receive right after purchase. Also called an indoctrination sequence, what you need to do is immediately greet and welcome the new customer with an email message. In this message, you'll want to foot-stomp a few things, such as asking them to whitelist your email address, reminding them to check their spam for important product access information, a little introduction about your business and what they can expect to hear from you in the future, and finally, a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is a promise of something relevant to what they just bought that will be sent to them the following day. The next day, you can send out a relevant email with info about how to use their product or tips and tricks and so on. The day after that, you can introduce them to your most popular blog content or something like that. It doesn't really matter what you cover in these first few emails, as long as you're providing value and establishing a relationship. But there is one specific thing you'll want to consider doing for each of these welcome sequence emails. You'll want to include an invitation to purchase other products in the funnel, on the off chance the buyer declined your upsells. This can be a main point emphasizing the special launch price will soon expire, or it can be more subtle and simply added in the PS area. Now that your sales structure itself is up and running, it's time to go get some affiliates and convince them to send their traffic to your offer.